It's been a tough weekend for the moto world, with the loss of off-road racer and all-round champion Kurt Caselli. Our thoughts go out to his family and friends.
This is the plug.
The news broke over the weekend of a horrific and ultimately fatal crash involving champion off-road racer Kurt Caselli. Most of us not only know Kurt through his achievements on a dirt bike, but also through his kick-ass appearances in the moto movies. It was well known throughout the industry that Kurt was one of the good guys, a real nice dude, and just a role model not only to his fans, but his teammates and his peers too. He will be sorely missed. Kurt suffered serious head injuries in the crash that he had while he was in the leading position of the Baja 1000 race in Mexico. Initial reports and rumours said that his crash was caused due to a booby-trapped circuit. However, this appears not to be the case. That would have been cruel and quite frankly just sick for someone to do such a thing. The official press release from KTM, which was the team and brand that Kurt raced for, stated that they believe Kurt collided with an animal on circuit and that's what caused the crash. I think you will all join me in saying our thoughts go out to Kurt's friends and family. This is a reminder of just how merciless our sport can be, and also a reminder to us all to live life to its fullest, just as Kurt did. Godspeed, Kurt Caselli. We saw the sands of Skegness Beach transformed into a dirt bike paradise this weekend. Well, if you like that kind of thing anyways. For the annual Skegness Beach Race. The main event, the 3-hour-long adult solo race, was won by none other than Nathan Watson on what would have been one of his very first rides on his new Dantec Husky. Talk about setting off on the right foot. And I have to say, after watching, talking and filming with Nathan last week at the HGS Pipes Ride Day in the deep sands of Meeple, there's a video coming soon. I am not at all surprised. He makes railing the sand for inhuman amounts of time look unnaturally easy. So yeah, I'm going to stand by my previous predictions and say that Nathan Watson is going to be a contender in the British Championships next year. The next two steps on the Skegness Beach Race podium were also taken up by two fast film stars, with Matt Moffat coming in second place, whilst I believe repping the old two-smoker. Good lad. I see he was keeping the old two-strokes only spirit alive. And then rounding off the podium in third place was Dan Thornhill. And again, I spoke with Dan last week at the HGS Pipes Ride Day, and unless anything has changed in the last week that I am unaware of, Dan still doesn't have a ride for 2014. But just look at his results and accolades. He was the 2012 Maxxis British MXY2 champion, he's the 2013 Red Bull Rookies champion, and he doesn't have a ride. But he deserves one. It's an understatement to say he deserves a ride. It's almost criminal that someone of his talent is struggling to find a ride. And he's genuinely one of the nicest guys in the paddock too. So I hope he finds a ride sooner rather than later. So that's all from Skeggy for now. Well, at least into our summer holidays in Butlins next year anyway. Also over the weekend, it looks like there were some shenanigans going down in the final round of the Aussie Supercross Championships. Going into the race, the title for the Premier class was wide open. As the gate dropped, it was clear that the battle would go down between the two native Moss brothers and Josh Hill, who had made the trip over to Oz with a few other AMA racers to dice it up in the Australian Championships. And as it turns out, things didn't go too well for the lone American in this battle against two brothers and two Aussies. It appears that Jake Moss wiped out Josh Hill just as he was going on a charge for the title, allowing Jake's brother Matt to walk away with the win and the championship. And Josh Hill and the rest of his team weren't too happy about that. There is a video of this incident and I've put a link below, but it's not the greatest quality and it's quite hard to say exactly what happened there. Was it intentional from Jake? It is not like he was a backmarker doing a favour for his brother in the lead. He was in the battle too. If he could have caught up with Matt and won the race, then he would have won the championship. So it's a dodgy one to try and say he did this and he did that and so on. But almost inevitably, the banter continued on onto social media. Even that guy from all the Pink videos got involved. Oh well. Stuff happens. It's not like it's the end of the world, is it? Really. Carry. Some more bad news for the UK motocross scene last week, as one of the oldest and in my opinion best tracks in the country has come to the end. Last week, after nearly 60 years, Elsworth Motor Park closed its doors for good. Such a shame and really quite sad. I don't think it's quite sunk in yet that I'll never ever be able to ride my favourite track again. But I'm just thankful for all of the good times and all of the good memories that Elsworth has made for us. I've created a playlist of all our Too Fast films from Elsworth Motor Park, and I've put a link to that down below. Enjoy! Let's finish off this week's show with some news and rumours, shall we? And it's kind of a touchy subject for some. Not naming any names. We're hearing from pretty much everywhere that Dean Ferris will not be racing for Steve Dixon in the MX1 class, or as it's called now, the MXGP class in 2014, as he was supposed and signed up to do. But in fact, we're hearing he's going to be joining Ryan Dungey, Ken Roczen and Marvin Musquin on the factory Red Bull KTM team in the US, to be Marv's teammate on the 250s and race West Coast Supercross and 250 outdoors. Although, it's not official yet, but it looks very likely. And it looks as though the Dixon team didn't really want this out there yet, but it seems to have slipped through the cracks and, well, it's out there. You've got a feel for Dixon. He finds these great riders for his team, but they just seem to slip through his fingers. But also, you can't really blame Ferris. Let's be honest, it's pretty much every kid's dream to go out and race in America. To race the Supercross, to race for factory KTM. And by my reckoning, Ferris's performance at the Nations must have turned some heads in the States and earned him this opportunity to fulfill some dreams. Mind you, it's a shame for the GPs. He was really shown his worth at the end of last season, and he could have been a welcome mix-up in MX1. So that's it for another week, and I've got two questions for you today. Firstly, some are saying that a big part in Dean's move to the US is due to the under 23 rule. What are your thoughts on the age rules and requirements in the FIM and GPs? And my second question is, with Ferris potentially racing West Coast Supercross and 250 outdoors next year, what are your predictions for him? How will Dean get on in the States? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I've been Too Fast Max. This has been The Plug, and if you've enjoyed this week's show, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel. And also go check out dirtbikerider.com for all of your latest motocross news. Finally, if you like what you've seen and you want to see more, click right here to see more.